Soy José Bonato y en este video les traigo diversos fragmentos de entrevistas hechas a famosos, a personas exitosas, que nos cuentan cómo de una forma u otra han llegado a tener el éxito que tuvieron en sus vidas, cómo perseveraron a través de los fracasos, cómo fueron en busca del objetivo que querían, cómo realmente hay que amar lo que uno hace y darle una dedicación completa, focalizada y obsesiva a eso que uno quiere. No, esta semana estoy a full con esto y después me desentiendo por un mes. Mejor le dejo con las entrevistas de ellos mismos, que son muy inspiradoras y seguramente le van a gustar mucho. Espero que lo disfruten.
Keeps you going? What wakes you up in the morning?
Well, I do it because I love it. I really love getting up in the morning and going to work and going through the wars and the battles and the victories and sometimes the defeats, but you turn the defeats around. I just love what I do. And if I...
Yo he alcanzado todos los sueños que quise en mi vida, todo. No hay ningún sueño que me quedó pendiente. Por supuesto que uno cuando... No sé, yo soñaba con tocar en el teatro, en el ópera, por ejemplo. Y después toqué en el ópera un día y después de ahí vinieron 10 Gran Rex, 7 Luna Park, hicimos Ferro, Vélez, hicimos de todo, ¿no? Entonces siempre el universo te da mucho más de lo que esperabas.
La mente es nuestro campo de batalla. Sé su comandante, no su soldado.
¡Wow! No se diga más.
Okay. Obviously you knew somewhere inside yourself that you were destined to be famous, because I think it's really a marvelous thing, that visualization thing you did. Do y'all read about this or hear this? That you used to go up on Mulholland Drive and park
every night
and visualize seeing yourself as...
Yeah, I would visualize,
This is when you were broke and poor.
You know, right, having directors interested in me and people that I respected saying, I like your work or whatever that is. And I would visualize things coming to me that I wanted or whatever.
This was in like 1987, 85?
Yeah. And I had nothing at that time, so it was like, but it just made me feel better. It made me, at that time, all it really was for me was kind of making me feel better. I would drive home and think, well, I do have these things, and they're out there. I just don't have a hold of them yet, but they're out there.
Okay, so you would get this from what, self-help books or whatever?
Yeah, self-help section.
Self-help section.
They've renamed it the Jim Carrey wing.
So didn't you write yourself a check? I heard that you did. Is that true?
I wrote myself a check for $10 million for acting services rendered, and I gave myself 5 years, or 3 years maybe, and I dated it Thanksgiving 1995, and I put it in my wallet, and I kept it there, and it deteriorated and stuff, but then just before Thanksgiving 1995, I found out that I was going to make $10 million on, I think it was Dumb and Dumber, maybe.
Dumb and Dumber, yeah. So you visualize yourself like... Visualization works if you work hard.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. You can't just visualize and then, go eat a sandwich.
I think the first thing is we need to identify with what it is that we really want. Because whatever it is you really want, that's what's going to come out.
Well, I like what you said, and I haven't heard it that way so much, the word belief. And usually when I hear belief, I hear it in terms of religion, and that's also great. But the word belief in what you do is very, very important. I think 2 words, love and belief. You have to love it and you have to believe in it. And if you can put those 2 words together, you're going to be successful.
And I feel like if I can ever think about, what I miss about the game was being that consistent each and every day. That, every time a naysayer say he can't do this, well, I think I can prove you wrong. Yeah, I think I can do that. And
from like me, I've got strengths and I've got weaknesses. I don't work on my weaknesses. I ignore them and I cultivate my strengths.
Yo tengo mis momentos, obviamente, y tengo mis días, pero mi meta diariamente, pues que esos momentos de angustia o de incertidumbre o de coraje, pues que sean menos, ¿no? Yo creo que eso es lo que yo hago en la mañana, dentro de mi meditación o mis rezos, como tú lo quieras llamar, pues decreto esto. Y me levanto por la mañana diciendo, hoy será el mejor día de mi vida. Y Y sí funciona, sí funciona.
The level of achievement that we have at anything is a reflection of how well we were able to focus on it. Because the only thing that's holding you back is the way you're thinking.
I challenge myself to be the best basketball player every moment that I'm playing the game of basketball. And sometimes that means tricking yourself in your mind to say that you can't do this or your weaknesses are here, but yet you still try to work on improving those weaknesses. A lot of people may say, well, Michael Jordan never had weaknesses. Michael Jordan had weaknesses. He just had to dig deep inside himself to figure out what they were and challenge himself to improve those weaknesses. So mentally, I like to challenge myself to go out and play a perfect basketball game. Although I know you can't do that. It's practically impossible to play a perfect game, but that doesn't mean you can't challenge yourself to do that.
Well, you have to show confidence, but you also have to believe in it yourself. You can't just think you're showing confidence if you're not confident. Well, yeah.
Pick a song in your head that you'd like to be able to play. Something that's within your reach. Imagine right now that song. Picture yourself playing it. That's the first part of the exercise in achieving it. Now, as you're picturing yourself playing it, imagine what it sounds like perfectly. See and hear yourself playing it elegantly, beautifully, whether it's an aggressive metal track, whatever it is, but see yourself playing it from beginning to end perfectly with confidence. The more you're able to crystallize that vision, the more you're gonna become a self-fulfilled prophecy.
I want to represent the idea that you really can make what you want. One of my favorite books is The Alchemist, Paulo Coelho, and I just believe that. I believe that I can create whatever I want to create. The first step before anybody else in the world believes it is you have to believe it. There's no reason to have a plan B because it distracts from plan A. I think that there's a certain delusional quality that all successful people have to have. You have to believe that something different than what has happened for the last 50 million years of history, you have to believe that something different can happen. Confucius said, he who says he can and he who says he can't are both usually right. Being realistic is the most commonly traveled road to mediocrity. Why would you be realistic? What's the point of being realistic?
Just put up a barrier.
Yeah, I'm going to do it. It's done. It's already done. The second I decide it's done, it's already done. It's right. Now we just got to wait for y'all to.
I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed.
Let's talk about practice. And let's talk about spending time to reach your goal. Because I know the complaint. We have obligations in life, we have responsibilities, we have so many other things we have to do. How do we find time to play the instrument? I recommend that you pick a time that's yours. A time where you shut off the cell phone, shut off the telephone, turn off the internet, and sit and focus on your goal.
And what we found are the people that reach the top, it's very easy for them to remain excited and positive, but how do you get them from when they're at rock bottom to get looking at that mountaintop again, to help them to be successful and to keep striving for success?
Well, that's where the perseverance comes in. That's where you really need the perseverance. You know, it's easy to be persistent and not quit when you're winning. But where you really have to go and have that attitude is when you're, look, I had a very terrible period in the early 1990s. The real estate markets collapsed. The world was coming to an end. It was like terrible. It was a depression. It wasn't, you know, they talk about the recession. It was a depression in certain businesses, especially in the real estate business. I have a lot of friends, they went bankrupt. You'll never hear from them again. They went out of business. I went back to work. I didn't quit. I mean, perhaps beyond my brain, I didn't quit. And I worked really hard. I never worked harder, even when I was building the business. And today, my business is bigger and stronger and much more powerful than it ever was in the 1980s. But and it was really the word perseverance. You're going to have some bad times. I don't care who you are and what you're doing, you're going to have down times. And that's where the word perseverance or not quitting comes in.
Whenever you get discouraged, go to the big picture. Go back to that place of excitement. That's how you get through it. You go to the big picture. You go to the chief aim. Because it's so crystallized in your head that when you feel like, I can't do this, you know, you go back to that picture and you can see yourself doing it.
I realize that to have the level of success that I want to have, it's difficult to spread it out and do multiple things. It takes such a desperate, obsessive focus. You really got to focus with all of your fiber and all of your heart and all of your creativity.
Y yo caminaba por los pasillos de mi escuela y no sé, me sentía como que era famoso. Estaba en mi propio mundo, o sea, mis amistades me veían como un loco. Lo que siempre yo sentí era que iba a ser compositor, porque sentí una pasión a muy temprana edad.
Well, a lot of people give up. A lot of people, and for good reason. Look, you know, sometimes you get punched in the face so hard and so often and so rapidly that you fall back. And you can't say, oh, gee, that's terrible, isn't it? It's human. I mean, it happens. But you got to keep going forward. You just have to do it. And those are the great success stories. And, you know, I use the example of punched. Well, the boxers, I mean, it's those guys that just keep moving forward. They just keep going. They won't let anything stop. Those are the ones that become the champion. Not the one that, oh, gee, he gets hit and he goes down and that's the end of his career. You just can't give up.
It's no work. There's no work involved. Because it's all a joy. Because you know you're reaching your goal. You know what I'm saying? I never worked a day in my life in this business. I mean, with the guitar. I never struggled. Honestly. I've had a lot of challenges. I've had to, you know, I've been through a lot. But when it came to my feelings about what I do and my success, so to speak, never struggled a day in my life. Because for me, playing the guitar was my juice.
Don't ever let somebody tell you you can't do something. Not even me. All right? You got a dream, you got to protect it. People can't do something themselves. They want to tell you you can't do it. You want something, go get it. Period.